Hello and welcome to my Child and I channel. Parents love their children, but when love crosses the borderline and goes into something else, then we need to be cautious. There was this incident that happened, and it's a common sight. I was in my office as the manager of an early years center, and a parent, a father, and a mom with their child of about 5 years old entered my office to commence the enrollment process. But the child walked in so boldly, almost not taking cognizance of the fact that those who came with him were his parents. He walked in boldly, and before his parents could sit down, he started touching everything there was in my office, boldly grabbing them. And the parents were obviously embarrassed, called his name, and said, "Stop that." He didn't even do as if he heard them. He was busy touching one thing or the other and grabbing as much as he could. So what did I do? I called his name and asked him to please stop touching the thing in my office. And I pointed at a corner in my office and told him, "Please sit down." He wanted to cry. In fact, he made the first sound to cry. I said, "Oh no, you don't do that in my office. You don't make noise here." And his parents were looking at us while I firmly looked towards his direction and warned him. I said, "Please don't make noise here, and that everything in this office belongs to me, and I would only let you use it if I want, and that you should not make noise here." I warned him not to shout, not to cry in my office. And you know what? He sat down in that corner and he wasn't happy, but he obeyed me. And the admission process commenced. So the child sat down, and I firmly but calmly, with a smile on my face, offered him one of the toys in my office. And he received with gratitude and sat down in that same corner and explored the puzzle game while I engaged with his parents on his admission process. I'm sure his parents were surprised. They were surprised because they didn't know that their child could cooperate calmly in that manner, because they are adults who pamper. They cross the borderline between pampering and love. Pampering is not love, okay? Pampering means the child is in control. It means the child detects for the adult what will be done, and the adult actually obeys the child. In fact, pampering means the adult obeys the child. In a pampering relationship, the adult doesn't find it easy to say no to the child, but the child says no with boldness. The child gets what he wants, even if it means shouting, screaming, throwing tantrums, and doing all sorts of things. So some even stimulate themselves to vomit, so that they will put pressure on the adults to obey them and provide whatever they're asking for. So pampering is not love. Pampered children grow into adults who place excessive demands on others, who have this sense of entitlement, adults who have poor social skills, adults who think of what to get from people instead of how to love others and offer them services out of love. Pampering is a disaster, okay? Adults who have good children behavior guidance skills do not pamper, they love. They do not cross the borderline because they know the borderline. Love makes the child know that there are boundaries, there are limits. Love does not allow everything the child wants, but concentrates on providing the needs of the child and considers only a little percentage of what the child wants that are not necessarily needs. Okay? Wise adults love, and they do not pamper because they know the difference. between pampering and love. I will advise you choose love and not pampering. In that way, you will achieve positive discipline. That child I told you about was able to sense that I was different from his parents. He could sense that I was not an adult who pampers. And he walked with me that way all through the time that he was in my center. He understood that I was not a pampering adult. And he walked with me that way. Now, it's up to you who you want your child to know you as: an adult who pampers or a firm adult who loves. The choice is yours. But then I will advise you to choose love, because pampering is a disaster. Okay, you've learned something today, that it should be love and not pampering. And it will be love as long as the borderline is not crossed. And what's that borderline? The adult should be in charge to provide for the child's needs. Okay? And support the child with what the child needs to grow and develop well. When the child takes the driver's seat, is pampering, and every adult should avoid pampering so that we can raise children who have good behavioral health. Thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like, share our videos, leave your comments, and be sure to subscribe to my Child and I channel, because surely we have a lot more to learn on how to support children to develop well without struggles.